Good morning, everyone. My name is Genesil D. Cagas, a student intern on this subject. Today, I was tasked to discuss about focus on the learner, specifically on the review of developmental theories. As one of the teachers aim to become an effective facilitator in the learning process, one should have a good working knowledge on the learner's development. Previously discussed in your child and adolescent development course. So there are 6 theories related to the learner's development. First is Sigmund Freud theory. Sigmund Freud is known as the founding father of psychoanalysis. Born in 1856 in Austro-Hungarian Empire. He chose medicine and specialized in neurology. So now let's discuss first the Freud's component of personality, the id, ego, and superego. So let's have first the id. Id, the aspect of personality allied with instinct, source of psychic energy, the id operates according to pleasure principle, encourages us to seek physical satisfaction. Pleasure principle. Pleasure principle by which the id functions to avoid pain and maximize pleasure. So, pleasure principle, it is the idea that all our needs should be met immediately. For example, a hungry baby cried until he was fed. So, kabantay mo, sana observe ninyo ang mga bata nga wala pa nag-edad og 1 year old. Pag nana sila bation, especially kung gigutom na sila, di na sila maundang og hilak. Kay ang ilang wants og needs, gusto nila nga masatisfy. Especially kay na-feel nilang gutom, which is ang physical needs nila, muna nga, diri nga time, selfish na sila. Wala na sila pakialam as long as masatisfied na sila. Kay ang ilang unconscious self diri is magpatigbabaw, which is ang id. So let's now discuss first the superego before we discuss the ego. Superego, the moral aspect personality, the internalization of parental societal values and standard. Prompt us to do the moral thing, not the one that feels the best. So, for example, Sarah knew that she could steal the supply from work and no one would know about it. However, she knew that stealing was wrong, so she decided not to take anything even though she would probably never cut. So, diri nga time, diri ana mo gawa si konsensya, which is ang atong conscious mind. Mao ni siya ang atong angelic side. So, in the example, si Sarah, nasayod siya nga, pwede siya nga mangawat, kay walay makakita sa iya. But, nigawa si konsensya, kay nasayod siya nga ang pagpangawat, dili maayo. So, mao to nga iyang gipadaog sa konsensya. So, now, let's discuss the ego. The rational aspect of personality responsible for directing and controlling the instinct according to the reality principle, refers between the id and superego, and deals with external reality. So, kini si ego, isang atong self. Muna siya mo balance sa atong devil side ug ang atong angelic side. Sa reality principle, the principle by which the ego functions to provide appropriate constraint on expression of the id's instinct. So, kini siya, reality principle. Mo-judge ni siya base sa iyang nakita. And it based on if it is socially acceptable. For example, Sarah was thirsty. However, she knew that her server would be back soon to refill her water glass. So, she waited until then to get a drink, even though she really just wanted to drink from her mother's glass. So, si Sarah, giuhaw siya. Tungod kay kaning kuan, but he know nga, mubalik ang server nga mag-refill sa iyang glass. So, wala siya nagpaka-selfish diri. Diri gibalance niya, even though giihaw na siya, gibalance niya nga. Dili lang siya ang giuhaw. So, wala siya nagpaka-selfish. Wala niya giinom ang glass sa iyang mama, instead naghulat na lang siya. So, diri ni daog si id, which is si superego, which is ang atong angelic side. So, maayo ang pagka-judge ni ego diri nga time. Gibalance niya si id o si superego. So now let's discuss the Freud's theory of psychosexual stages of development. Freud's theory claims that as we grow up, we pass through 5 critical phases: the oral stage, anal stage, phallic stage, latency stage, and genital stage. So now let's discuss the oral stage. The duration of this stage is from birth to 1 year. Diri nga time, ang ilang pleasure zone is their mouth. Diri magsugod, magpagara si id, which is ang ilang unconscious self. Diri need nila nga masatisfy ang ilang feeding ug winning to avoid the oral fixation. So now let's have the anal stage. The anal stage is the duration of this stage is 1 to 2 years of age. Diri nga stage magsugod na makontrol ni ego si id. Diri nga stage mag-train na sila sa toilet, unsaon paggamit sa toilet. Makontrol na nila ang ilang bowels and bladders. So now let's have the phallic stage. The duration of this stage is 2 to 6 years of age. The pleasure zone is their phallus. So during a stage, makapil na isa ka lalaki nga bata nga rival niya ang iyang papa sa iyang mama, which is gitawag na siya sa theory ni Freud nga Oedipus complex. Diri pod nga stage madiscover nila ang difference between male and female. O diri ang penis invade, which is ma-feel sa isa ka babae nga pag once na kay penis na kay power to authority. So now let's discuss the latency stage. The duration of this stage is 6 to 11 years of age. Walay conflict diri ang stage. Kay the main characteristic is Oedipus and Electra complexes are resolved. Electra complexes is mo ni siya ang kaning tawag sa pag ma-feel sa isa ka bata nga babae nga rival niya ang iyang mama sa iyang papa. Muna gitawag siya og Electra complexes. Diri ang nga time mas prefer nila nga makigdula sa ilang same sex, which is benefit sila for their development. So now let's discuss the genital stage. The duration of this stage is 11 years old and on. Or from puberty to death. During a stage, ma-influence ni siya sa upat ka stages that we previously discussed a while ago. During a stage, magka-interest sa sexual partner. Diri ba-build ang atong interest sa sexual partner, which is, pag maayo ang pagka-nurture sa atong previously 4 stages, makabuild a good relationship on both sexes. So now let's discuss the fixation. Fixation, Freud says that people can become stuck or fixated at any stage may not progress beyond it, continuing to find pleasure in the pleasure zone associated with that stage. Unang kabantay tanay mga ubang tao nga dili mabuhig, walay babulga maginatsyo, walay kinay tao nga kanang murag habit nila ang kanang pagpakon ang ballpen or ang lapis, mga tao nga kaning addict sa smoke, dili sila mabuhi kung walay cigarettes, muna sila fixated na sila during sa oral stage nila. Wala sila na satisfy.